Hi everyone, let's solve today's daily challenge, that is add to array form of integer. So in this question we are just given an array form of an integer num, which is an array representing its digits in left to right order. Basically if we have a number 1321, so its array form will be just take its digit, that is 1 3 2 and 1, and put them in an array, so which is 1321, like this, right? So that is what we call the array form of an integer. So here in this question we are given num, the array form of an integer, and an integer k. We have to return the array form of the integer num plus k. So let's see, we are given this num, right? It is an integer, the array form is given to us, and we have this integer called k, right? And what we have to do, we have to add this num plus k. So basically the number is 1200 after we get it from the num array, plus we will add this k, we will get 1234, and we have to just output it, right? So we will get 1234 in array form, right? We have gotten an integer and we have to convert it into an array, and that is what we have to return. So it's an easy question, right? But if you see the constraints here, that is the num length is less than equal to 10 raised power 4. So that is 10 raised power 4 number of digits you can have here, right? So which will be a very large integer, and it cannot be even represented in terms of a long variable, right? So we cannot simply take this num and convert it into an integer and then add k and then get the resultant integer and convert it into an array. So that approach we can't do because the num can be very large, but this k is less than equal to 10 raised power 4. Okay, so that is maximum, it will be having 16 bits, around 16 bits or something. So so let's see. So what we will do is we will simply let this num be an array, okay, and we will convert this k into an array instead. So the easiest way to convert k into an array is to convert it into a string, because if we have to convert it into an array, what we'll have to do, we'll have to first the same approach that we followed to get the digits of the number. So we will first get 4 and then 3, so it will be a bit of a task. What we'll do, we'll simply convert it into a string. So that is very straightforward. You can just use toString, right? So then after converting it into a string, right, so let me explain the other part to you here. So what we'll do, we have this number, right? We have 1 2 and 0 0, okay, and we have 34. So now what we will do, we have to add these, right? So how do you do the addition? You simply take these two numbers, you add them. You take these two numbers and you add them, and here we have nothing, so we'll just add these, okay. So this is how we do an addition, right? So we are going to follow the similar approach. So what we will do, we will convert this k into an string. After we have converted this into a string, so we can simply access all of its digits just like by their indexes, right? So let me erase. Okay, so let's say we are given a number like 9 9 9 9 9 and 9, okay, and we have k is equal to let's say 12, okay. Now what will happen, when we will try to add these 9 and 2, we will get 11. So here we will put the 1, and here we need a carry also, okay, and we have to consider this carry to add these two bits, right? So we will get 2 plus 9, that is again 11, and here we will be having a carry, and again, so throughout the whole addition we will be having these carries. So to we need to consider these carries also, right? To consider these carries, we'll have a carry variable, right? And we will just store, like if the integer value is greater than or equal to 10, right, whatever the sum that we get of the two bits, if it is greater than equal to 10, then we will put it inside of the carry, right? So what we have to put, this number right at this position inside of the carry. So that we can simply do, what we will do, we will take the sum and we will divide it by 10, so we will get this number at this place, right? So this is what we will do at each iteration. So what we will do, we will be iterating in the nums and in this string, right? Now why in the string k, right? Why in the string k? Because what if the length of the nums string is greater than, the length of the k string is greater than nums array, right? So what if we are given an array like this, 2 3 4, right? And the k is and the k is 1000, 10,000, let's say. So k is larger than this, right? So we have to also consider this. So we'll simply do, we'll say with I, we will be considering the numbers of nums, the digits in nums, and with j we will be iterating in this string k, right? Now let's see. Now I hope you have understood like what we are going to do. That's pretty easy, right? So let's see it, how we will code it. Okay, so first what we will do, first let's say we can also have a case where we don't have anything in k, that is k is 0, right? So if k is 0, then we will simply return this array. So let's just write it, if k equals 0, simply return num. Okay, otherwise what we will do, we will first convert this k into a string, right? So let's take a string called s, and to convert this k into a string, we have this function which says toString, and we will put k here, so it will convert it into a string. Now we will take three variables. First of all, the carry, which will be 0, and then we will take I, that is to iterate inside of this num, right, to access its element. So I will be num dot size, okay, wait, num dot size minus 1, right? So how do we add, right? We perform addition from the rightmost bits, right? From here we will first add these 2 bits and then these 2 bits, and then we will move forward to these 2 bits and add the remaining ones. That is what we will consider as an answer. So that is why we will be iterating in both the nums and the string from the right side. So we'll say j will be containing this strings. So s dot size minus 1. Right, now what, let's also create our vector here. Let's call it ans. Now what we will do, we will iterate inside of this loop. We will say until we exhaust this, right, that is the nums vector, or we exhaust this, right, that is this string, because any of these can be greater in size, right? So it's not given that num is supposed to be always greater than k. Okay, so that is why we will be considering both the cases. So we'll say I is greater than 0 until we exhaust this nums, right? Or until we exhaust this string, right? So we have to exhaust both of these. So we'll add this condition, and here we will define our sum variable, which will initially have the value which will be equal to the carry, which is initialized to 0, right? Now what we'll do, first we'll check if we have anything in this string, right? Then what we will do, we will add that digit to our sum, right? So we will say sum is equal to s of j. We'll convert, because we have a character inside of this string, right? So now 34 is a string. So how do we obtain the character only? So we need to get 3 or the 4, right? So we will get it this way. So we have to convert it into an integer. So that is how we convert it into an integer, and we'll simply say j minus minus, and then we'll also check if we have a value inside of nums also for that particular bit, right? So we'll say sum plus equal to num of I, and we'll say I minus minus. Now what we will do, what we just discussed, right? That the carry will contain, like, let's say for this particular bit, right? When we consider that case where here a 9 was there and here we have a 2. So what we will get 11. So our carry is what? 1. So that what we will get after dividing this by 10, right? This particular sum that we have got. And to get this, what we will do, we can simply modulate by 10, to get this. So this is what we have to consider as a digit, and this is what we have to put inside of the answer vector, right, which is here. So let's do that. Let's first calculate the carry. Carry will contain sum divided by 10, and what we will put inside of this answer vector, right? Inside of this answer vector, we will be putting sum modulo 10, right? That is the value at the ones place. Okay. So here we have exhausted both the things, but we can have a case. We can have a case where, let me remove this. Just as we discussed in that 999 value, what did we have? We had 9999. Let's say we have this, and even if k is 1, what we will get? We will get 0 here, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0 and 1, right? So in this particular loop, we will be getting all the zeros, right? Because what we have to do, we have to exhaust these much values, that is the 4 values and this 1 value, right? So by exhausting these 4 values, we will only get 4 digits, but this is what? This is a carry, right? So if our carry remains, so we have this edge case that if our carry is not 0, right, after all the addition we performed here, after exhausting both the string and the vector, we need to consider this case also, that if carry is not equal to 0, we will also put this inside of our answer, right? So we will say ans dot pushback whatever the value in this carry is, right? Because this carry will definitely not be greater than 10. After this, because we are performing everything from the right side, right, but we need to have the digits in order from left to right. So what we will do, we will just reverse our answer vector, right? We'll say ans dot begin and ans dot end. Okay, we will reverse and then we will return our answer. So let's quickly run it and let's see if it's running or not. Okay, it's ans dot pushback. Okay, so it's accepted, so let's submit it. Okay, so that is how we have to solve this question.